It's been rumoured for a long time that Japan played a major role as a naval object of Tartaria in the Old War, and there were based strategic shipbuilding facilities. There is also a lot of historical discrepancies in the official story about their fleet. Warships at the time of World War One, they had too many out of nowhere. They couldn't have built so many ships in so short a period of time based on the economical situation they had during the time of World War One, according to the official story again. But if we keep in mind these photos, we can guess that they received these warships as part of a heritage left from Tartarian times.
Well, I am here with the lovely Amy yet again. Hello, Amy.
Hello, lovely Karen.
I'm going to turn you up. I don't know if you're very loud. Let me just turn you up a bit.
Okay.
You sound a bit like you're a bit distant. I'm just going to turn you up. Speak now, Amy.
Okay. Is that better?
It's not the loudest, but I think it'd be alright for the recording. I'm just going to read a little bit, because obviously, Rudy's been giving us some information there, but we wanted to look it up to see what it was saying. It says the Imperial now, so obviously another dynasty or Imperial Japanese Navy in the Second World War. At the beginning of the Pacific War in 1941 was the third most powerful navy in the world, and the Naval Air Service was one of the most potent air forces in the world. Just wanted to read that because obviously he's saying that, like for instance we've said about the Titanic, they did not make the Titanic. The state of the Titanic, the side of the ship and everything, made it look like this was a ship that had been mended and had been acquired from some other time. It's just slotted into whatever, and then it doesn't really exist anyway because the real Titanic didn't sink. So that was obviously his story. And then you've got these people obviously acquired theirs, didn't they then?
Yes, exactly.
Well, when we get to the Second World War, they've got all these sort of frigates, and I never really thought that even maybe these had come from Tartaria. Did you, Amy?
Right. No, I never even thought of it.
So, you know, these big frigates, they weren't from then. They are Tartarian.
Yes.
But Tartaria ended into 1925, so the Queen turned it all into the Commonwealth and changed things around a bit. So we'll never know the true path of everything, but we're going to look up a little bit of more history. Yeah, looking at this, it says Imperial Japan's last floating battleship, and I don't understand why they'd want to say floating battleship. I mean, boats float.
Right.
Yeah. There's a little bit of history there that you can read if you want to.
Yeah.
Just don't forget, none of that's going to be correct, is it? But you can stop this at any point and just look at it if you want to read it or look up your own. But anyway, okay, so they've got things like that, right? Anyway, oh look at the Empress Japan. I'm not saying it is because it's not as big, but it looks a bit like a smaller Titanic, doesn't it, Amy?
It does, Karen. Yes, I agree.
Well, there's a few different boats in here. You've got, I can't even say the names, I'm not even going to try, but this one looks a bit like a smaller Titanic. So what that document was saying on Rudy's video was that they acquired them, probably just like how they acquired the Titanic.
Exactly.
There it is, the Empress. Oh, that's the Empress of Britain. That looks like the Empress of Japan.
Well,
One second. This one has 3 chimneys, but just looks like a small, you know, maybe they stuck another chimney on, took a chimney off this boat.
Right.
Because most people think the Titanic is huge, but it's not much bigger than this one.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was another version of this with 4 turrets on it. Looks quite much bigger there. Depends which angle you're taking it on. But that's crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, on the thing, it actually just said the Empress of Scotland, but it's the Empress of Japan. But I mean, what? Does remind us quite of the Titanic, just a bit smaller.
Yeah.
So they're saying that this was built in 1890 to 1891, and then it was on the west route far east of Canada until 1922. Yeah, there you go. This is quite confusing because in Wiki it says that the Empress of Japan only had 2 chimneys, and there was only 139 meters long. But this one shows the Empress of Japan 1930s, Empress of Scotland, but it's got 3 tunnels, chimneys. Amy, what are you finding? There you go, it's got 3. Right, I know what we're going to do is... Carry on, Amy, sorry.
I saw one that has 2. It said RMS Empress of Japan around 1910.
And there's the Empress of China as well, 1890. That's got 2 chimneys.
Wow.
It's a painting. It says it... Just going to take the thing across. There, look. Wiki. RMS Empress of China. It's got 2 chimneys on that one. 1 second. Wikipedia is showing it with 2 tunnels, chimneys. Oh, I can't get it right. 2 chimneys, and then over here it's got 3. So 1930 to 1942. So it was nothing to do with Japan. It was just the names of the boats, because it was up until 1942. It's the Empress of Japan. Then it turned into the Empress of Scotland in 1942 to 1957. Then to the TS Hanseatic, 1957 to 1966. Then it became, in 1930 to 1957, the owners were Canadian Pacific Line. And then 1957 to 1966, it was the Hamburg Atlantic Line. And then it's got the operators and that. And then Port of Registry was London. Oh, didn't we have to be in there somewhere? There you go. It was destroyed by fire in New York on the 7th of September 1966 and scrapped. But here they're showing it with 3 tunnels. Oh my God, 3 chimneys.
Right.
Me and Amy was wanting to look up the Japanese Navy, and we've come over looking at these ships. And what it is the Empress of Japan, I know it has 3 chimneys, looks very similar, very, very, very similar to the Titanic with 4 chimneys, doesn't it, Amy?
Yeah, oh it does. It does, Karen, yes.
And on the footage, when it's supposed to be leaving Southampton, I made a comment of, look at the hull of the ship. James noticed it, that it's all been botched up.
Yes.
You know, this wasn't a spanking new ship when they're saying it was. It was already a doctored ship. But I mean, I don't know how they'd add another tunnel, you know, another chimney. And if you look at the bridges, they do look a little bit different, but they're very similar boats.
They are very, very similar.
So this is another picture of... Oh, that's the Canadian Empress. Oh, of Japan. Canadian Specifics, Empress of Japan. And just look how similar it is to the Titanic.
Yes.
Amy's leaving me.
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry to have to leave.
That's all right, my darling.
Oh,
Thanks for helping me, Amy. Have a nice dinner.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure you'll find more stuff, Karen.
Oh, love you, Amy.
Love you too, Karen.
Bye, darling. Bye, darling.
Bye, darling.
Bye, darling.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, go and have a nice dinner.
Oh, thanks. Here, I love you.
Love you too, darling.
I told you.
Yeah, bye, darling. Bye, darling. Oh, lovely Amy. Hope she has a nice dinner. But anyway, I don't know if I was expecting to... I was expecting to see that they were basically the same ship. They go on and on about the Titanic's sister, but this one's definitely a cousin because of the chimney thing, but they're practically the same ship. Here on this picture they're showing more decks than on this one, but I was just so shocked at how similar they were. Not built different, are they? Same ship, just one's a bit bigger than the other one, if that's the case. Yep, this one is the ropey one with all the different coloured paints on here. And, you know, like, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. No, there's 1, 2, 3. There's more on there, I think. So when you look at this, this is a bigger ship than this. But on some of the pictures, it doesn't look like that. Just goodness knows what they do to us. You know, when you see it more from, you know, this angle, the ships look very similar, don't they? But anyway, that was a bit of finding. Tartaria, Russia, North China, Siberia, Japan. Japanese name for Tartaria. Tartaria, 16th century. Sometimes when you click into them, they don't really take you to where you want to go. What's everybody's thoughts then with the statement? It's been rumoured for a long time that Japan played a major role as a naval object of Tartaria in the old war, as there were, I think that's where it gets to, were, base strategic shipbuilding facilities. There is a lot of historical discrepancies in the official history about their fleets, warships at that time of the World War I. They had too many out there, from nowhere. They couldn't have built so many ships in such a short period of time based on the economical situation they had during World War I, according to the official story again. But if we keep in mind these photographs, we can guess that they received these warships as part of their heritage left over from Tartarian times. What does everybody make to that statement? Thank you, Rudy. What do you think? So it links in with the ships I've just been telling you about. They inherited the whole lot. Thanks for watching. Let's just go and find the footage and see what's happening with the people. So, you know, waving goodbye to the boat. And what did we find, James?
Diddly squat.
One video, everybody's copied, and you couldn't say that that was the ship leaving Southampton.
No, not at all. Interestingly, on the footage we have looked at,
These are all the same videos.
there's only
Anything
three.
with 451 on it.
There's only three
Same
funnels
video.
with smoke
Same
coming out.
video.
The rearmost funnel has got no smoke coming out of it, which I find a bit odd.
These are the same videos. They're all. That's the same video. I don't know what that is, but
Does seem rather odd, because I'm sure I have seen footage of it leaving Southampton, old black and white film, but
so where's
whether
the
it's just
footage?
not on YouTube or...
That's the same video. That's the same video. They've been copied. These are all the same video. All with the same. And make that look enormous, don't they? I mean, look at that. It's gigantic, but it wasn't.
Well, it's said to have been the biggest ship in its
Look at
day.
that.
I mean, compared to modern vessels, no, it's not big at all. It's more...
It's not. It's maybe not a small boat, but it's not as big as they've made. You like the the biggest boat of its time.
I would say it's about the same size as a ferry that crosses from Dover to Calais or
Or
something.
just a big yacht. But it looks big there, doesn't it?
The impression we're given is it's massive, but it's about 800-900 foot long.
Yeah. Just a minute ago, we were actually looking at the whole boat, but I mean, I just stopped this footage. Does that look super duper fantastic?
It looks dirty. It doesn't look brand new and
I
pristine.
noticed it on all this. This doesn't look very good. I mean, if you find footage on it, it just doesn't look all painted and new. I mean, how do we not know? They could have lied about that, and that's a Tartaria boat.
Well, even on the official...
That's a Tartaria boat.
Even looking at the official narrative, if you look into the finances of the White Star Line, they were financially in trouble, and that's where the whole story seemed to come about swapping ships over. It's, if I remember rightly, it's to do with the insurance, and this voyage was make or break of the White Star Line. So I don't know what happened to the company after that.
It's supposed to be a new ship.
It looks worn. It looks dirty. It looks grubby.
You can see it in the
Yeah.
It doesn't look like this wonderfully new painted boat which has just been made.
Just on that lower section under that gangway bridge, you've got that. It looks like patched up bits on there. It doesn't look right at all.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah, it doesn't look right, does it?
No.
No.
Maybe that's another. Maybe it's a ship that comes from the past and they've taken it.
Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe that is the truth of it.
There's three. Right. A, it's history. B, it never happened. Or C, it was a ship from another
I would go.
era.
I would go with option C, and it's just a cover story to get rid of it.
Yeah, because the sister ship stayed.
Yeah, but I think that didn't that sink as well eventually. I can't even remember that one.
Oh.